If you're an entrepreneur, this channel is for you. Okay, we're doing it. So my mic went out. I'm gonna keep it though because I didn't get to bring my lapel and everything, but this lesson is about proceeding forward and enjoying the duality that we have as women. As women, we, or as men, as them, we have duality in everybody, right? And a lot of times we are so afraid because of what other people may be thinking. Other people have this idea of who we are, and then we may spend a little too much time catering to other people's ideas. These days, it requires us to do more than probably we should. And so I feel like if I am punished to have to monetize every dang on thing, I'm gonna at least monetize the things that I enjoy while making sure that I do things that I love and don't monetize those. I am a DJ. I'm an advocate. I am also people ask how I do it. By faith. Okay, because I've had moments where I've worked a full-time job, while working a part-time job, while DJing full-time. So that meant that a lot of times I worked a non-traditional factory position. And that required me to work Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. That's also my DJ time. So I would sometimes be working all 3 jobs in a matter of 4 days. You know how I did it. There was moments where I stayed up 36 hours, not because I wanted to, not because I was a part of the vamp life, and I had to do some things differently. And so I had to push through. I don't want anyone to push through because it's not necessary. There's ways that we can cultivate our lives to work for us. And if it doesn't work for us, then we need to do something different and remove some things for it to work for us. Because life is not about trying to squeeze as many things in your life as possible when it's uncomfortable and you don't have the time, you don't have the agency, and you absolutely don't have the capacity. Duality in 2024, a little different versus what we may have considered someone in the 60s, if they even had that. That shows we are doing something so different, so out of the box. It's gonna take a little bit of trial and error to figure it out, but because we know it's gonna be some trial and error, you have to be open for criticism, constructive criticism, of course, and just some tips and some life tips. You gotta have your tribe, you gotta have your network, but faith, above all, is important. So I've had faith. Me and God's relationship grew in 2017. I was living in this apartment. The apartment sucked. And like it never took care of the things it needed to take care of. And it definitely wasn't up to code. And they had all of these like miscellaneous undercover convenience fees that were tearing me up. They were tearing me up, and I was paying like an extra $800 a month on rent with all of their like hidden BS, right? And so I just remember it was in November of 2017, and yet again I had to figure out some things, and I got on my knees and I prayed to God for about 45 minutes. And I was crying, and I was just like, Lord, please guide me. I've been so hard-headed over the years. Like people used to always say, Trishelle, you're so hard-headed. That's my real name. You're so hard-headed. Take takes some guidance, but I'm the oldest child, and you know how those go. And so I was not trying to take any type of guidance. I felt like I had it, and when I didn't have it, I figured it out, so why would I need guidance? But I couldn't take it anymore. I got on my knees, I prayed to God for 45 minutes at least. I think it could have been an hour. And I went to bed. The next morning, I went to work and I got a letter on my door. And I was like, they about to evict me. I'm out of here. And it was a letter from the leasing office that said they would like to see me. And so I'm a sweater. I was sweating. I mean, like, you see, and I don't care. I'll get better. I was just like, I already had like a little speech. Oh, Lord, just help me. Just give me a couple of days. I'm gonna figure it out. I had already had that planned in my head. I remember her saying, I see you trying, you always pay, and every season the owners ask the leasing managers who deserves, I think it was 85% off rent. And I just got quiet because I was like, I don't know where she's going with this, but I think I know where she's going with this. So I was quiet, and she said, so we chose you. I'm about to start crying now because I had no idea. And like I said, this was the first week in December, so Christmas was coming up, and I was just like, I don't know how my baby is gonna get a good Christmas. And the next day, I gave it all to God. I said, God, I'm giving this all to you. And the next day, you know what I'm saying? God's power is incredible. I seen a sermon today. It was talking about how we like to look for practical ways for God to help us, but it doesn't make sense for God to help us practically when He is a miraculous man, It's out of this world. So to be so present, so immediate, it was undeniable. I was raised and brought up in a church, but I'm grateful for my mother because she gave me the agency to explore religion in my own way and in my own time. And so before 2017 in my adult life, I was getting to a point where I was just like, is God real? Is God really helping me? Can God really help me? And I think that those are very healthy and helpful questions to ask yourself. You don't want to just be following someone blindly and mindlessly. But in 2017, I was going through it. 2016, I was going through it. And my friends, I had two particular friends, and I started therapy at that time. And they were all like, girl, you need to talk to God. You need to talk to God. And I was just like, if another person tells me to talk to God, so if you're thinking that right now, I understand. And that's why I never want to pressure anyone to have a relationship or a stronger relationship with God. But I'm going to let you know that that's my way. And then hopefully in the steps that I take, you can feel validated to have a relationship with God. Faith is how I'm able to successfully have duality in my entrepreneurship, because money isn't consistent as it should be. But it's always on time. It's literally always on time. And when you're doing things that you love to do, you're not really fixated on the money, and you feel like good. I've had moments where I go back to work and I'm back in the corporate field and I'm just like, this isn't for me. I try, but it's not for me. And I don't want to continue to like waste anybody's time at that time. You know, I think I'm ready to be in a traditional space if I need to, because life do be life, and as an entrepreneur, they do go back and forth in and out. That's something that entrepreneurs don't talk about. They don't talk about that they do still have a full-time job or a part-time job that they're able to help their existing monies, you know, or their existing endeavors. We have always had just these numerous roles that are usually in a caretaker way. Like we are taking care of someone else's child, we are taking care of our own children, taking care of our spouses, partners, but we're not really taking care of ourselves. It's not about just making money and the ways to make money. It is just to be a full person. It's to take care of ourselves. Make sure we look good, because we know when we look good, we feel good. When we feel good, we do good, and great things happen. It's about having the spirit, because we all need something. We all need a reminder that there's something bigger than these day-to-day things. Life is not about bills. Life is not about bills. We gotta pay them because we gotta get a good credit score. Life is about spirituality, it's about our mentality, you know, it's about what we say to people, it's about building our tribes, it's about, yes, making money in a comfortable manner and making our work. If you're not getting paid what you deserve, find ways to get paid what you deserve. That's really what it all boils down to. And that's why I gravitated to non-traditional work, because I'm able to negotiate contracts that could be a 2-week salary and could be a month's salary. And you don't really get that type of agency in traditional working. But when you do non-traditional working, people are pursuing you. You already know that you have worth. Like, your name is currency. My name is it's not currency. Like, I love Spitta. Shout out to Spitta. If you're a lifer, look, gotta get this out. Hold on. Shit. If you're a lifer, but DJ Bombshell, that name holds currency. Okay, so when I walk into rooms, I have this added confidence that not only am I that girl that they want to hire me, but also that I put in the work, that my business, what I do, people know like there's a standard and that I uphold that standard. And thus I'm gonna get paid that dollar amount. And that is just the beginning. I'm literally at the beginning stages. You know, like Victoria Monet said that like your overnight success is literally not overnight. We all know this, but I love that she reaffirmed that, because I've been at this for a very long time, almost hitting a decade. And I feel like I'm at that overnight success mark. So I'm very excited. We can design the lives that we desire. We really can. And it does take some dynamics. It does take some sacrifices. It definitely takes some money sometimes. But it's doable. And you should never feel ashamed that you want to follow a non-traditional path. And you should never feel ashamed that you're doing 1,000 things at once. You should take your time and develop things one at a time, and then bring things in, you know, slowly but surely. But never feel ashamed that you don't just want to do this or just do that. I've been working on my entrepreneurship probably since I was a child. As a kid, I knew I wanted to be a boss woman. I wanted to be my own boss. I used to always like find ways to make like a lemonade stand out of the materials I had around me. Big imagination. So like I knew wherever space I wanted to be in, they would like appreciate my imagination. And at this time, I haven't found that space yet, but I think that one day. But I also am making sure that regardless, me and mine are going to be good. I make sure I network with people. I make sure that I'm like nurturing my businesses and my business endeavors. So when I'm ready to build it up to the next thing, I'm not afraid, because one, I got faith, but two, I've done the work and I've done the networking that is ready for the next level. So if you was brought here to this channel, the second video, this is confirmation that that non-traditional pathway that's been on your heart is doable. It needs a plan. You need goals. DJ is my core thing. It's my stage, it's my platform, because I've been able to build relationships through DJing. When I first started DJing, like year 2, I knew this isn't the only thing I want to do. I don't want to be just a club DJ. I want to also be a connector, and that's how I became a connector, because I would have these wonderful gigs that no one would know about, and I'm like, how can I help you with your gigs? How can we get these resources from this event and put it to other people, to residents, to organizations? Started working in nonprofit agencies. I like immediate impact. I want someone to listen to me when we talk, or you come to an event and you immediately are just like enthralled, and you feel amazing, you feel inspired and encouraged. Like that is something that I feel like I respond better to than something that like takes a little longer. I like instant gratifications at times, especially when it comes to wellness. So that's when Nurture the West started, and I started building programming and connecting with already existing organizations that are doing similar or aligned work, and I would filter their information through our stuff to send out to our network as well, along with providing wellness tools like yoga and sound therapy. It's inevitable. We all are just such these dynamic human beings, but it does take some perusing to get to that point. And like I know, I use DJ as my base, and then I add these things that are very similar. And I mean, I'm working with a lot of similar people that have different needs, and I've been able to cater to those different needs, and that's a blessing too. And that is another reason why you should be dynamic, because someone may need me for a DJ, but they also say, you know what, I love your presence, I would love for you to instruct some yoga, or I love what you're doing, and right now I see you're doing sound therapy, so let me do sound therapy. Oh, you're a notary as well? I did have these documents that needed to be signed. I can't afford a DJ, but can you make me a playlist? I've made playlists for different businesses. Of course, that's a fee, but it's a lot cheaper and it's long lasting. And a lot of times I go back into there and I'm adding songs on there for them. Like there's so many ways to be dynamic with such like a linear foundation, if that even makes sense. But I use DJing as my foundation. I've just added different things. And I will always nurture and love on DJ Bombshell. That's me. Because I have been able to be in spaces just off DJing. And so I tell other DJs, and I will tell you to always use your platform for a reason. Okay, like I know like a lot of DJs want to do it because it's hot. It's why not? Like I like to DJ because of the control. Like I solely did it because I would go to parties, and I was just always the obnoxious person that wanted people to play the songs I wanted to hear. And so instead of getting on people's nerves, I said, well, let me become a DJ and show them how to do it, okay? And since then, I've been granted so many wonderful, beautiful spaces. So I'm so grateful for my dynamic, and I'm grateful for God and his faith in me to be able to share his goodness, but also to have the faith to pursue the things that he knows that's been on my heart since I was a child. Okay, so shout out to all the dynamic people. continue to be dynamic. You deserve to be dynamic. We're all dynamic, okay? Like, what I'm doing in 10 ain't special, but you are, and I am too. So this is my official first video after the intro, second video all together. And I just want to say thank you so much for tuning in. Make sure you like, subscribe, and share this video if this aligns with you. This is just an overall coverage of what the things we'll be talking about. Like I said, I feel like dynamic was something important to just jump out with, because you may be wondering, what is she? Who is she? What is she doing? A lot. But that's why I wear a hat, to accessorize properly, or something I say. I have this quote that I made up when I was 22, because I had a feeling I was gonna be doing a lot. So I just want to say, I hope you are having such a thriving, beautiful, excitable freaking day, because you deserve it. Keep thriving.